Este video va a ser un poco diferente. Te voy a compartir una reunión que tuve con una agencia de Canadá con la cual he colaborado en varios proyectos llamada Shoelace. Al principio hablé sobre cuál es mi rutina a la hora de manejar anuncios en Facebook e Instagram y luego analizamos la cuenta de un cliente para descubrir qué está funcionando hoy en día en términos de anuncios, segmentación y estructura de campañas para generar ventas. Espero que te guste.
Very
Okay, I
cool.
think I lost my internet
Yeah.
for a couple of seconds, but now I'm
Yeah.
back. Okay, my like day to day, I think it depends. Like there are some basic routines that I have, but like it depends on the like on the day of the week, and the like the part of the month, because usually like the start of each month usually has more work because I have my monthly strategy calls and stuff. But yeah, usually I start to work like at 8:30 a.m. more or less. But well, even before that, like I like to work out and exercise, because this is a work, like we're like working in front of a screen like for 10, 12 hours per day. But like we need some activities, and even like when you're working remotely, it's pretty easy to spend like your whole day or your whole week in your home. So I think it's super important in a creative work like marketing, having activities where you don't have to think, where you just do stuff, like walk your dog, do exercise, spend time with your family and stuff. So I always try to be like disconnected from technology until 8:30 a.m. Like I don't have like my phone sleeping with me, so I check Instagram and Gmail like at 6 a.m. I try to like stay away from internet at the beginning of each day. I work out, have my breakfast, and then at 8:30, yeah, I open my computer. I check Slack to see if there was like anything important that I should be aware of. So yeah, I like to check like if there's any important stuff. So I check Slack, and then I check my inbox. And if I see that there's like an urgent email that I should reply, I do it like right away. But if I see that there are some emails that can wait, then I'm like, okay, I already covered the urgent things. Now I always like try to do a list of 3 to 5 things that I have to do like this day, to know that I yeah, spend my time doing like my 80-20. I like to like find the 80-20 of my work. So yeah, like perhaps it's optimizing a specific account. Perhaps it's jumping on a call with a client, having a meeting with the team. Like those special activities. And I even have like a board here where I write like these important things because I really like to write, and I also have a blog here. So I like here I put my most important like activities, like 3 to 5. Here, for example, I have 4 that I need to today, like to say that I won the day, and then I schedule like those activities. So okay, what are the most difficult ones or the ones that are gonna take me the longest? I try to put them in like time slots where I'm available. So for example, right now I have this meeting that is gonna last 1 hour, but my next meeting is in 2 hours. So I have 2 hours to like focus on these things. So I'll try to cover like the first 2 during these 2 hours. Then I have 2 or 3 meetings, and during the afternoon I have like 2 or 3 more 3 hours. So yeah, I try to like put the important things in places where I'm available. And yeah, like this is something personal. I disconnect all my notifications. I close Gmail because I can't like focus when I have so many things popping up on my screen. And yeah, once I have finished all these important tasks, I do the unimportant things, like replying to emails, some Slack messages that were not super urgent, because it's important to differentiate important and urgent. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, I try to do like first the important things, and then like these smaller things that are also important to tackle. And for example, when I have lunch at 1 p.m., like I usually try to take a nap, a 20-30 minute power nap, because that like really boosts my energy. And at 2 p.m., I'm still like kind of sleepy, that's completely normal in our body. So between 2 and 2:30, for example, I try to reply emails as well, because that's not going to take me like a deep thinking process. It's like reply to emails saying that I received the creatives or that we're going to have this promotional campaign stuff, but it's not like thinking or writing a copy or launching a new campaign. So yeah, like I try to leverage these like shallow work times to reply to emails, Slack. But then once I start to focus again, I close everything and I log into Ads Manager, Google Ads, whatever I have to do, my blog, to do the things that really move the needle. And that's creating ads that sell, in my opinion.
So you optimized your day as well. I dig it.
Optimize my day. But yeah, I think like in a job that has like so many responsibilities, because you're gonna be in charge of like driving sales for a lot of businesses, it's important to be like very like strict with our time. Otherwise, we're gonna be like bouncing between different tasks, different calls, different meetings, different Slack messages, and you'll end up like doing nothing, and that's super frustrating. And that's something that I had like when I was starting to work at this agency world. I didn't have like a routine or anything, and I was just being reactive, so I was replying to emails and Slacks, and I was trying to do everything at the same time, but I was not doing anything. So I had to like really rethink my schedule and how I work in order to deliver the best like campaigns possible, and also to be happy with my work, which I think is the ultimate goal.
Cool.
Yeah. And yeah, I would say that's it. I try to finish work like at 6, max 6:30, and that's it. And then I try to disconnect again. I really like to read. So yeah, at night I like to read like either marketing books, business books, or even novels, because like it's important to change topics as well. Otherwise you start to get like confused with so much information. And yeah, then I watch like Netflix shows, movies, and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what kind of optimizations do you do? Like, at what stage, how often are you in an account doing optimizations, right? Like, at what stage do you just leave it? Like, what does an average account look like for you? What's the setup? Like,
okay.
Like, yeah. All right, I have a store. Here you go. I've onboarded the shoelace. You have like the activation team hands it over. You kind of understand what do you do?
Okay. I think it depends on the budget, because if you're spending like a small budget, let's say 3-5K per month, we're not gonna get as much data to optimize your ads very often, and that could be like intuitive, like sometimes it's easy to check your campaigns on a daily basis to see what's your cost per click and your CPM and your CTR is decreasing, increasing. But the more often that we look at data, the less significant it becomes. That's like a mantra that I always try to apply. So if your budget is not like very high, I try to optimize the campaigns between 7 and 10 days. That's where I feel that I start to get a bit more data. It also depends on your average order value. For example, I had a client that was selling mattresses, and their max cost per purchase was like $250, and their ad spend was like 3K per month. So in order to each ad have that CPA, like it was taking us 2, 3, 4 weeks. So instead of using cost per purchase, I was using cost per checkout initiated, which was around $50, and that helped us like optimize our campaigns faster.
Right, but you don't exit the learning phase, right?
Yeah, no. And I tried to optimize for like add to cart, checkout initiated, but even like optimizing for purchase, even if we never exited the learning phase, ended up yielding better results. So
really,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, sure. I tried with them even optimizing for view content, because that's super easy, like product page visits. But I was getting a lot of view content, but like my cost per add to cart was way higher, and my cost per checkout initiated. Like I feel that Facebook is really good at doing what you tell them to do, or what you want to get, so like the learning phase is great, but especially when your budget is low, or if your average order value is high, I would like still try to stick with my desired end goal. If you want to get purchases, optimize for purchase, because like Facebook already has so much data about us, even like with iOS 14, that they know like which are the types of users that fire the purchase event, and they will focus your ads on those segments. So going back to
So like, how many campaigns? How many campaigns? Like, what's your? Can you show us? Can you show us an account that you have?
Yeah, sure. So let's see. I didn't have like anything prepared, so let's see.
No, it's fine. It's fine, man. Just
yeah.
open an ads manager. Like, we know what the fuck's going on. Just show me what your Facebook setup is. I mean, I hope we all do. This shouldn't be foreign to anybody, right?
Facebook.
Yeah. Wait.
Okay.
What?
What is this?
Yeah, man, show
This
like
is a campaign, and
here's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'll give you I'm a SaaS guy, right? I'm a performance marketing SaaS guy. So, and I understand D2C to a little bit, but like I can do it, but I'm not an expert at it. So what I'm trying to figure out right now is like, okay, how do we set stuff up? What does that look like? What's best in class look like? And then how the fuck do I market that? So I need to and like this stuff, you could show me this all day and I know it. I don't like, I've never run a dynamic product ad in my fucking life. So
no, but that's great. Like, yeah, it's great to have people that are like that also work in marketing, but come from different industries, because when you're reading about D2C all day, like I feel that everyone starts to say the same things,
Well, yeah.
And sometimes those people that work in lead gen, SaaS, real estate, whatever, they say completely different things that totally make sense because they are not biased with this information overload that we all have. So that's
I mean, like coming with Shopify, we'd always get slotted into e-commerce stuff. And I was like, that's not what I do though. Like I get the people to start the stores. That's my job. Like, so, I've been to enough like e-commerce, like things that Facebook puts on, but I was like, none of this applies to me. So I need to refresh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're running lifetime budgets too? Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Walk me through your shit. Let's go.
Yeah, that's exotic. Okay. So these are the campaigns that I have for a client, and they sell eyewear. In fact, they have like pretty like cool sunglasses, in my opinion. So yeah, this is their website, and I'm running ads to drive sales to their online store. And these are our current campaigns. Our target return on ad spend is around 3.5x, where it's currently at 3.27x. But we know that due to iOS 14, Facebook is currently underreporting some conversions that they can track. So I was also looking at their Shopify revenue, and it's growing, so we're good. And I'm currently testing different campaign structures with different accounts, because I feel that with these updates that we're seeing, what was working 1 year or 2 years ago, or even 6 months ago, is no longer working. So it's important to constantly adjust your tactics, because the strategies will never change, depending on the context. So this is like the classic campaign structure that I like to use, and it's having one big prospecting campaign. And with prospecting, most of the times I like to use ad set budget optimization. Like Facebook loves CBO, but with prospecting, especially when when budgets are lower, I like to use the budget at the ad set level to have full control on how Facebook is spending my budget. Because otherwise, if Facebook can't exit the learning phase, I feel that most of the times they just end up spending money on the biggest audience, which is usually like broad, and that's it. But if you're also testing like lookalikes or interests, they're gonna get like a very small budget, and that's not very optimal, So I usually start with ABO with prospecting, and within each audience, I try to test multiple ads, So for example, here we have 3 ads, but I've tested historically like 7-8 ads with this account, and I have 2 ads that are hitting our goal, like this one is 2x, and this one is getting close to 4x. And with prospecting, our goal is around 2x. So these 2 ads are looking great. This one was working, but its performance decreased this past few weeks. So I had to stop it in order to like control the damages. Like within each account, I also try to test not only like different ads, but also different formats, because Facebook knows what are the types of users that respond to videos, what are the types of users that respond to, let's say, single images, to carousels, to collections. So a mistake that I see that a lot of accounts do is that they only have single images or they only have single videos. But in Facebook, that flexibility to show different formats to different users definitely helps. And even like durations. For example, this is a long form video from an influencer that was reviewing their sunglasses and was unboxing it. But this one, like that one is 42 seconds, which in Facebook is pretty long. But this one is way shorter, is 4 seconds. You know, it's like a slideshow, showing different models and like using their best sellers. So even if you're gonna test single videos, test a 5-10 second video and a 40-second video, because like some people really like to do their research before buying from a brand, you know, and they want to see like reviews and studies, and if they have been, I don't know, like featured on magazines, like those types of things. Or people are like, fuck it, like I like this sunglass, I'm just gonna click and buy, you know. And if you have that variety of ads, you're gonna give Facebook more flexibility and more freedom to find you potential buyers. So yeah, like
Dude,
I have ABO.
I fucking love that. That's I completely agree with you. Like, can I, with the long form video, do you add video viewers into your retargeting mix?
Yeah. I have video viewers for sure.
Because like that's the like long form video, as much as like you put it into prospecting and then you retarget those video viewers, and it fucking crushes. Like everybody's always like, yeah, it can't be 15 seconds. It's got to be 15 seconds or under. And that's bullshit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
As long as your video is great, people will watch it.
Yes.
You know, like
it has to be good.
Yeah, totally. Like long videos won't work if they're boring. Like marketing can't be boring, in my opinion. So perhaps it's not the length of the video, it's the strategy of your creative that isn't working. So yeah, like in Facebook, flexibility, different creatives, different products, sometimes like an ad promoting the overall brand and their USP, but also having an ad, for example, of their best seller, of sale or a new launch, you know, like giving them different creatives, different offers, so Facebook can show the right ad to the right person. I think that's always the goal of advertising. So yeah, here, for example, I have 2 ads. This is a broad audience, because I really like to test between broad, lookalikes, and interests, which are the 3 main audience types on prospecting. So here we see broad. Here I have a 1% lookalike from their VIP email list, because they have a big email list. It has like 80,000 subscribers. So instead of creating a lookalike from all their email list, because not all their subscribers are equal, I created a segment with VIP customers, you know, people who have purchased, I think, more than 4 times. And we had like 2,000 or 3,000 people, but that was not more like 5,000 people, but those were like their best, like their super fans, you know. And then I uploaded that VIP list to Facebook Ads Manager to see how it worked. And its performance has been decreasing, but historically this audience did super well. And lately with 1% lookalikes, Facebook is not delivering like very good results. So perhaps I'm going to test a 2 or 5% lookalike.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like D2C, lots of people do the 1% audience, eh?
Yeah. And in a market like the US, which is pretty big, 1% lookalike is like 2 million people, and it used to work, you know, especially if your budget was low and your pixel didn't have a lot of data. It made sense to like test the highest quality of the audience that Facebook could deliver, which was the 1% lookalike. Now, if you wanted to scale, it made sense to test bigger lookalikes, 3%, 5%, and above. But with small budgets, let's say less than $100, $200 per day, 1% lookalikes historically did super well. Now Facebook has less data, so I think this is changing a little bit. And I'm currently testing 3%, 5%, and 10% lookalike with a client. And I think these last 7 days, because performance also like takes some time to stabilize, but these last 7 days, the 10% lookalike is delivering the best results, even better than 3% or 5%, you know. So that's why it's important to like adjust your tactics.
Are you like split testing them?
I'm not doing this like very scientific A/B tests, because I don't have the budget. Because like running this scientific
you have
A/B
like a 3% with one client, a 5% with one client, and a 10% with one client?
No, they're within the same campaign, like 1%, 3%, like different assets. But I'm not running like a scientific A/B test, because they require a lot of budget to have scientific statistically significant data.
I just wonder if you're not excluding the like 3% lookalike from your 10% lookalike.
No, I'm not doing that. No, and I know that there's some audience overlap.
Yeah, like there's overlap, right? So it could like duplicate your 10% could actually hit that person like 2 or 3 times before your 3% does. It's totally. I haven't talked about this for a while, man. So it's fucking cool. Let's go.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, what else you got? Do you do
yeah.
do you turn audience expansion on?
Yeah, most of the times I do that. Let's see if I have that with this audience.
I mean, they're talking about having
detailed targeting and expansion. Yeah. Now Facebook is gonna automatically turn this on. So let's see what happens. But I was skeptical with this button with accounts that didn't have any data, because I didn't understand how Facebook could show your ads to people who might convert if you don't have like enough conversions yet.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, and then you have, so how much are these guys spending monthly?
We're currently spending $13,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our budget is between $12,000 and $14,000, and yeah, this is our current ad spend. So yeah, like I have one campaign prospecting, 3-5 ad sets using ad set budget optimization, and each ad set with 3 to 4, max 5 ads with different creatives, offers, copies, like variety. Then I have our campaigns with different retargeting stages. So for example, this is our like middle of funnel campaign, because it's retargeting social engagers, page viewers, email lists, and yeah, because like with this account, I did several tests, and usually I have a campaign for middle of funnel, like social engagers, page viewers, video viewers, and stuff. I have our campaigns for bottom of funnel, view content, and add to cart, and I have another campaign for retention, like a campaign with email lists and past purchases. However, like that retention campaign didn't work for this account, so I decided to stack like email list and past purchasers within middle of funnel, to give them even a bigger pool of people that are not actively visiting their website, who have engaged with them, like either following them on social media, visiting their website, or joining their email list, but are not visiting a specific product page or adding an item to the cart in the last 10 to 30 days, which is like bottom of funnel. So that's a small change that I did. And sometimes like retention campaigns can be a bit inconsistent, especially with products that don't have a high like repeat buyers rate, because I don't know, like you don't buy like a sunglass like every month, like perhaps every 3 months, 6 months. So I feel that like stacking this audience here would help us improve performance. And I only have one ad set. I have tested like different things. I tried to divide Instagram engagers, Facebook engagers, 1 to 3 days, 1 to 7 days. And currently I'm testing this one. And like its performance is not great. So this is one of the stages that we need to optimize. But here I'm also running a lot of tests, and we have a few ads that are doing better. But like especially with retargeting, now that Facebook has less data, I feel that consolidating everything makes sense.
The lists that you have in this ad set, do they automatically refresh, or are they CSVs that are uploaded?
The email list, they used to use MailChimp, but like in June they changed to Klaviyo. I'm gonna use the Klaviyo on Facebook sync, to automatically update these email lists for sure.
Dope.
Yeah. So here I'm testing this, and for example, with retargeting, something that I like to do is adding, for example, 6 or 7 ads per ad set, but just testing 4, for example, and then I turn off 2 or 3. And then if I see that a few of them are not working, for example, 2 of them didn't work, I turn them off and I turn on the other 3 ones that were off. And I have realized that when you turn on and off ads that already existed within an ad set, that doesn't reset the learning phase, So instead of like adding new ads to the ad set, like add a lot of ads from the get-go, but turn like off the ones that you don't want to test yet. And when you want to test them, just turn them on, because if you add them, you reset the learning phase. But if you turn them on, you don't. That's like a small hack that I have found. And with retargeting, it's especially important.
Okay, so 2 things. One, I've found that if I have like a big campaign and multiple ads, and I want to make sure that they all get spent, I actually like go in and create a rule with minimum spend on it, and it turns every single ad off as it hits that level of spend, so that I get that like minimum onto it, and then I go back and turn them all on and then let them fight it out, opposed to, because like Facebook chooses that winner really, really quickly, right? Like it's always like it's been 30 minutes and they're just like, and this one gets all the spend, and you're like, but it's only spent $2 on this other one.
Totally.
And then what the what was the other thing that I was going to say? Because that was more important, but I was like, I don't want to forget this other thing. That like the rule side is interesting.
Okay.
Oh, engagement campaigns. Have you ever tried like where I used to seed them. So I'd create an engagement campaign, put them in, apply a rule that shuts it off after $20 worth of spend, and then take those engaged posts and move them into like my prospecting or retargeting campaigns. They have a large
social proof.
Yeah, they have larger social proof. It only works for statics because with videos, you just get a bunch of video views and nobody actually likes them.
With carousels, you can't like use that format with engagement. I have tested that campaign, but lately, like I just like to use the same post ID across my different ad sets or campaigns if I'm gonna use the same ad with different people. And that helps me like push the social proof. And like I haven't run like honestly engagement campaigns for a long time, but I did that last year and at the beginning of this year. But that's a tactic that I could revisit. But
it's like I'm not only if you like you have to have money to burn, right? Like you have to have you can't just be like, hey client, I dropped $200 on getting engagement in these 10 posts. Like is that, and they're like, but you're only spending 1,000. Like what are you doing?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I think those engagement campaigns should be max 3-5% of your budget, you know, to protect your performance metrics. And something important that Facebook released 3 months ago with existing posts is the ability to also use asset customization, you know, because we were not able to use like asset customization to display, for example, vertical creatives on Instagram stories if we were using the like existing posts. So there was like a debate, you know, like what do you prefer, social proof or vertical creatives? So I have friends that were like never using existing posts because they felt that like the ad on Instagram stories looked horrible, you know, because it was like cropped. But a couple of months ago, Facebook added this thing so we can leverage like both sides, which is great. And not a lot of people are currently doing this. And I always do like post ID plus asset customization to fully leverage these like additional tools that Facebook gives us.
I always went with like if I don't have the option to go full frame, and even sometimes when I did, I found that the 1x1, as much as it looks trash, as long as you can change as long as you optimize the background to be like black, that it actually got more conversions because your social copy showed up on it.
That's true.
Selling point.
On Instagram stories, like you can't write any copy. So something that I like to do with some clients is adding a text overlay within this image. You know, so for example, here we could add a headline like, this brand is a bit special because it's more luxury, you know, because I would say 90% of the work is like done by the creative because people like, features and stuff. But with luxury markets, it's way more emotional, you know, so perhaps like handcrafted materials or something like that. But what really matters is how the sunglasses look like. However, in markets that require some education like skincare, cosmetics, makeup, food, sometimes because people really ask about ingredients, it makes sense to add some text overlays with these important questions that people have before buying. So I don't currently use automated rules because they have failed me too many times, to be honest.
I would never use them either. Like I've never used them. Have you guys used them? Randy? No? They haven't. Because they suck. Other than like when I want, like if I have like an engagement campaign or something.
I haven't used it.
I know some media buyers who use RevealBot, which is a tool that allows you to create rules with your Facebook ads. But apparently, like this tool is way more reliable and it also has more features. You know, like you can create rules based on return on ad spend because Facebook doesn't have that feature. Like you can create rules based on CPA, but not ROAS. RevealBot has that, and apparently it works, but I have never tested it, and it can be pricey. You know, I think like like their fee depends on your ad spend. And it can get pricey, especially with scale clients, but perhaps that's something that we could explore, you know, that saves us more time, you know, than we spent here.
I've never found rules that, like, as soon as you put something in, I mean, because your spend fluctuates. So if like Facebook drops out or something, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this looks really bad, and it just shuts everything off. I mean, you still get and everything, but it's annoying.
And I feel that this work is not like black or white. You know, sometimes there are ads that are not working, so Facebook would have turned them off, but they are close to hitting your target. You know, perhaps their cost per purchase isn't great, but their cost per add to cart is looking great, you know, and they have generated a lot of carts, and perhaps you're gonna get some delayed conversions in the future. Or like people take more than 7 days, which is the attribution window that Facebook is currently using to purchase. So like even with a bad cost per purchase, if your cost per checkout initiated is solid, you're getting a lot of carts that will be retargeted through your email marketing, you know. So I feel that like first, like this should be like super reliable in order to use rules, and second, you will have to like you also need to have all your metrics, not only like your KPIs, but also like secondary metrics, like cost per purchase, cost per checkout initiated, super clear, in order to create rules that actually make sense, you know, because there are some things that are not as black or white, or as this CPA is working or this CPA isn't working, especially with clients that don't have a lot of budget.
Completely agree. Dude, you fucking know your shit. I get.
Thanks.
You're very good. Just in case anybody hasn't told you that for a while, I already messaged Justin and was like, yo, Felipe is dope.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
Okay, so show me the other
lifetime budget.
Yeah, that's for your Labor Day. I realized I saw the lifetime budget first, and then I was like, oh, it's a one-off sale. Okay.
Yeah, and here I also have lifetime budget. And with evergreen campaigns, I like to use daily budgets, you know, to have full control on how Facebook is spending my budget. But with limited time campaigns like flash sales, promotions, launches, collaborations, like things that will run for 1 week or 2 weeks. Historically, I also used daily budgets because a few years ago, lifetime budgets didn't really work. For example, if we set a lifetime budget of $1,500, I realized that if the promotion was going to last 7 days, the first 5 days, Facebook would spend $200, and the last 2 days, $1,300. And that didn't make sense, you know, like you're burning my money. But like these last 2 years, I would say they have improved this feature. And I have found that with lifetime budgets, they spend the budget like pretty like evenly, you know, but performance can be optimized. So currently I'm using lifetime budgets with these campaigns that I know that will end in a limited date, to give Facebook some flexibility, because here I'm forcing them to spend a specific amount on a specific day. But with lifetime, they can have more flexibility, and now they're not burning my money like these last 2 days. They tend to spend like the same amount, but I have realized that some days they can spend a bit more, and also the return on ad spend or the CPA on those specific days can be better. So yeah, that's like a rule of thumb that I have, and it's working. Like this Labor Day sale, well, 3.5x, which wasn't great, but we saw a huge bump on their Google Ads, because I'm also managing their Google Ads and email marketing, and in general with the store. And here, this sale only ran for 1 day, and it got like a 13x, which was great. And like with under reporting, like here, it was around 15, 20x for us. So yeah, like I'm currently using lifetime budget for promos and launches and stuff.
And then you saw like a correlation. Oh, so you saw a correlation in your search traffic as well?
For sure. Yeah, with like Facebook and Google is very correlated, because especially when we start to spend more on prospecting, I see that, for example, the branded search campaign works better, you know, because now more people are aware of the brand, and they are going to Google to find their website, look at reviews, do the research, you know, which is completely normal, especially with products that are above $100, you know, which is not an impulse buy anymore.
What are the other? So you got retargeting of add to cart in a DPA format.
Yeah.
Is that the only place you use DPA?
Yeah. Well, I have tested DPA with prospecting. They were called like DABA, dynamic ads for broad audiences, but they never really worked for me. You know, like I heard some media buyers in interviews, podcasts saying like, yeah, DABAs are crushing it. I tested them like with multiple accounts, and they never worked. I don't know why. I stopped using catalog sales with prospecting like 6 months, 1 year ago. Perhaps I'm gonna test them again in the future because like the only thing that never changes is testing. But yeah, I'm currently using add to cart and dynamic ads, mainly with add to cart. This brand has significant website traffic, so that's why I used to have like view content, one campaign, and add to cart, another campaign. But with accounts that don't have like a high website traffic, I just stack both stages, you know, because if the add to cart audience is too small, your CPM is gonna be huge, you know, like Facebook is gonna be like, okay, you're very specific with your targeting, we are gonna charge you more, and that can hurt your return on ad spend. So it depends, you know, if you have a lot of website traffic, you can separate both stages, but if your website traffic isn't super high, like you can stack them. Now with iOS 14, Facebook is getting less data from website visitors, and that's why, for example, the view content stage is decreasing. Historically, this campaign was like at 5, 6, 7x. Now it's at 3.6. So a test that I want to run these next few weeks is stacking view content and add to cart to see if this new account structure delivers better results. And with view content and add to cart, I always like to test conversions and DPA. So for example, here we see that I have conversions, DPA. I could test stacking, for example, here, view content and add to cart, DPA, and here view content and add to cart. I could duplicate the assets, like to keep the data separate. But yeah, that's a test that I would run, like testing different campaign objectives, but given Facebook bigger audiences. And here, and I'm also testing like different lengths, 1 to 7, 1 to 30. And yeah, here I usually like to put like testimonials, and testimonials tend to crush it with these audiences. Because people really like to see what our users are saying, you know. So, for example, a carousel. This is an ad showing like different images, and also like a testimonial, you know, from one of their users. Like historically, testimonials like they work across different stages, but with people who are really close to a purchase, they deliver really, really good results. And at add to cart, I think that I have a testimonial. Yeah, this is a collection ad. With our clients that are unboxing the products, and collections. Like I really like collection ads because they allow you to mix like videos or images plus a catalog. And with an e-commerce, that's key, you know, because people can engage with your brand and then they can browse through your different products without leaving Facebook and Instagram. So like for example, with people who are really close to buying, like showing a video or an image of different customers plus a catalog is something that tends to work pretty well. And lastly, this was another like promotion. So I created a separate campaign, and also with promotions, like clients have like sometimes they have a specific budget, you know. So for example, if our budget is 12K, I want to spend, Felipe, let's spend $1,500 more on this specific Labor Day sale campaign, you know. So since you have a promotion that an ad that is going to run for a limited time, and also you have a different budget, you need to create a different campaign, you know, to have full control on this special campaign. So that's why I had these two campaigns.
How do you engage with them as like regarding creative, right? Because like they're doing this, like, and their creative looks dope.
Yeah, totally. I feel that the 80-20 of Facebook ads are creatives. Like, sure, you can change your account structure, your targeting, everything, but if your creative sucks, like, it won't work. And now, if your campaign structure is horrible, your targeting is not as good as it could be. But if your creatives are great, you're gonna get sales for sure. Yeah. So I like to jump on calls with clients every month to give them references to like try to participate in the creative process, because I feel that's what makes us a marketing partner. You know, like if we're constantly running ads and sending them reports, they're like, cool, but that could be automated. You know, like and sometimes they understand about Facebook ads, but thinking is something that is very hard to replace. Like here is the doing, but if you actually jump on calls with clients and show them examples, ideas on what's working on our industries, because that's an advantage that agencies have over in-house like teams. They're gonna be like, okay, this man is giving us ideas, insights to improve our creative process, and that's really hard to find, you know. So with clients, I always like to jump on calls. I use a lot Facebook ads library to see what their competitors are doing, and also I ask them to grant me access to their email marketing platform. Like we just started offering email marketing, which is great, but I have always like checking their emails, their campaigns, their flows, like to learn as much as possible about each brand, you know, because that's what will allow me to create ads, audience ideas, send them references, and that will end up like giving us better results. You know, like I feel that going outside of Ads Manager and seeing what they are doing organically on their website, emails, and even their competitors is key, you know, because here we're just seeing the past, what's working, like what has worked these last 30 days, for example, but we can't see a future. And in order to see a future, we need to check what they are saying in the market.
Felipe, this is a fucking masterclass, sir.
I agree. That was good. That was a webinar. That's good.
Yeah, we should have.
Now I'm gonna offer a limited time course. You guys,
like that
can use the discount.
Honestly, man,
Shoelace 10, and you're gonna get 10% off. No, just kidding.
I need you to do this again and then record it.
Okay.
So that I can show it to my team to like give them a sense of what the fuck we actually do. Because I think I think that you're thinking about it is absolutely correct, right? Like we aren't just like their Facebook ad buyers. Like we have to be more than that in order to stave off competition and to be relevant.
Totally.
And like just to do good ethical work, right? Like we saw the other day, like there was a person that we have a client that has a trash website but they don't have the know-how or the money to fix it. And I was like, well, why aren't we just like jumping in to like fix like a couple things just to make it that much easier? Right?
Yeah, and an advantage of Shopify is that most of their themes are like optimized. Like they could improve, especially at checkout. I have never liked Shopify's checkout. But like most of Shopify's themes are optimized, and if they're like super basic things, I think we should help them. Like the goal is to become a full stack marketer, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like in this case, the header was too big, but it's because their logo image that they uploaded was too big, so it took up too much of the header, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's easy to fix. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Go get that fucking. Oh yeah, you're dead on the money, man. I fucking love this. I do honestly want you to do this again. I need you. I don't know what you normally do in these things, like in the day-to-day thing. Like, and the first part's great too. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that. The second part where you walk us through like all your setup and like everything that you think about marketing in general is chef's kiss. I need more of that, please.
Yeah, for sure. Would be happy to help.
Best interaction I've had thus far, and I've had other good ones. Like they're great, and my team's cool and everything. But like, you're fucking awesome.
Thanks, man. Let's have these calls more often.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. I want you to walk through that again at some point. But then also, like, do you guys do like where do you track these experiments, and then how do you share them out across the org? Like, how is that?
Okay.
Is it codified? Is there a process around it, or is it kind of like
no, it's not. And that's
channel?
Yeah. I think like each person has like his or her own like process. Personally, I like to use Monday to like write the different tests that I'm gonna run with each client, and also put a different date. You know, because I have realized that we're really good at generating ideas, but we're really bad at remembering them, you know? So sometimes like I'm working on an account and I see that something that works and I'm like, okay, that could work with this other client, you know? So I need to have a place where I can write all my tests. And then I try to put like the date based on their priority. And when I optimize the account, I check Monday, what are the tests that I'm gonna run, and I start running them.
But I think that we need a stronger like test and learn framework where, and like what I don't understand is how we're not passing like learnings back to a broader team, but then also into like a larger playbook that essentially you could hand to a 12-year-old and have them execute a campaign well. Right. Like ideally we should just be handing a book to Randy right now. That's like, here's like our standard flow. This is what we generally are doing. And then consistent, like not a book because we'd have to print it out and then we couldn't change it, but something that's like a living breathing doc that changes on a regular basis as to like this is what the best practice is. These are ways to optimize from that best practice. And that way, like you're not searching when something's failing. You're not searching to try and replace it. You're just like, oh, it lives here. I don't necessarily know how to visualize that yet, or where did we end up, like where that ends up living.
SOPs around our like optimizations, campaigns, launches, and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. And something important is that that document or playbook should be updated pretty often. It's not like a machine, that was created once and it's like it always works the same. Here we have like to constantly change. But yeah, I totally agree.
All right, sorry, I realize we're way over, and that's my fault because I just keep talking all the time. But this is
great chat. Yeah,
this is gonna be my highlight meeting of the week for sure.
Thanks.
I'm gonna chat with you more. I want you to do this again for my team.
Sure. Feel free to reach out.
Wicked.
Hey guys, and have a great day.
Take it easy.
Thank you so much, Felipe.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.